Hello friends, it's PPG Gorilla coming to you from my box truck. That intro was an homage to Nomad Brad. He's one of the guys that's really inspired me. I really enjoy his channel, so shout out to Nomad Brad and e-bike van life. You guys are keeping me motivated, keeping me going on this build here. But anyway, I'm here today. We're at the Lake Wales Ridge State Forest Wildlife Area. Not too far from my house. Just seemed like a good place to get out of the house and come out and film a video today. We're going to talk today about my solar system, the one that I chose, the reason that I chose it, the pros and the cons, and let's get into it, guys. Come on inside. Well, guys, I guess first we'll talk about what's up on top of the truck there. I have 1,200 watts of solar panels up there. I have 6 200-watt panels. It's a 24-volt system. I have room for some more up there if I want. I'm in Florida, so sun has not been an issue, and I find that the system replenishes itself very quickly because of the angle of the sun and the intensity of it here. As we go on the road and travel around, we'll find out if that's enough or if I need to make changes. It's available. So come on in, guys. Let's take a look. Haven't done a lot to the cab yet. It's a little bit dirty. Keep in mind it is it's a work in progress, and don't mind the camera gear. Tell you, first of all, let's go ahead and put some air conditioning on. It's pretty nice outside today, but you know, it never hurts. We got the power, let's use some of it. All right. Okay, so I've located my solar system in this cabinet right behind the passenger seat, basically as you step into the truck. My penetration gland is right above here, and my wiring for my panel comes in right here, as you see. Well, let's talk a little bit about the system that I've chosen. I decided to go with the Sungold Power. This is kind of an all-in-one system, and it really simplified the design and installation process. Everybody knows about Victron. They're considered to be probably the best, maybe the most expensive, and maybe not the simplest system to design and install for somebody new at this. Guys, I am not a solar expert by any means. I really haven't had any experience with any solar stuff before this. I found out there was a lot of information to be learned about design and proper installation techniques. One of the resources that I relied heavily on is the Explorers Van Life channel. I'll put a link to that down below. They really help out with the design aspect, properly sizing the wiring. They have charts and tables to calculate voltage loss and things like that. So really good site. I learned a lot from those guys and was able to put that all to use. Hey, guys, the information is out there. Just take your time and research it, and you can learn how to do this. It's not too terribly difficult. One of the reasons that I chose the Sungold Power Systems setup was the simplicity and the ease of installation of this system. This all-in-one unit here, this is our solar charger, our inverter, and this basically manages mostly everything to do with the solar system. But let's start down here at our batteries. This is a 24-volt system, so I have 3 100 amp hour 24-volt batteries. You can't see the labeling on them because of the way that I installed them. The wire length and efficiency was more important to me than being able to see the labels. But here are some pictures of the batteries. These batteries came from Sungold Power Systems. These batteries are smart batteries, so each of these batteries has a little LCD display down here, if you can see that, where you can monitor the battery voltage and some other parameters there. These are smart batteries, so they have BMS or battery management systems. Each of them has their own. Each of these batteries is also Bluetooth, so I can connect via my phone and an app to each of these batteries and monitor their state of charge or discharge, the balance and everything like that. So pretty nice. These batteries also have heaters so that if it's excessively cold, They won't let you over discharge the batteries at a low temperature, or I think even more importantly, they won't allow the batteries to charge when they're at a very low temperature. So they'll kick on the heaters and warm the batteries up to where it's safe. So very interesting, pretty amazing. So there's that missing screw. So I can monitor those batteries individually, or I can monitor them through the smart shunt. So you'll see I have some Victron stuff in here. I'm not opposed to Victron. I think it's good stuff. It's just a little bit expensive and a little bit complicated for somebody that's new for their first solar installation. So from my batteries here, we have our negative and positive that run up to these bus bars. And these are just buses. They're just connections where all those wires tie together. It's very important that each of these wire lengths are exactly the same so that the batteries get charged evenly. So if one set of wires is much longer because of voltage drop, you're going to have less power to that last battery. So these are all very precisely cut and measured. I bought the tool on Amazon to crimp the ring terminals on there. Bought some good connectors, that's important. So into the bus bar. Out of the bus bar, we feed the positive feeds into our all-in-one inverter charger unit here, and our negative unit runs up here to the smart shunt. So this is a Victron product, and this allows us to monitor everything that's going on with this battery bank. Voltage coming in, voltage coming out. And up here on the wall, there's a basic, simple little display that will give me the information that I need. And I don't have my glasses on, but we're drawing 18 amps right now. We're at 26.73 volts. Battery is at 100% charge. I'm very pleased with this system because when I'm running just my air conditioner and lights, and maybe I have a couple cameras charging or something like that, I'm basically at net zero, meaning that all of the energy that I'm using is coming directly in from the panels, and none of that is going to the batteries. So the batteries are sitting right at 100%. I intentionally, once in a while, have to turn off my solar panels and let those batteries run down, because you don't want to leave them at 100% all the time. You want to discharge them down to 50% or more once in a while. It's better for the batteries and for the life of the battery. So anyway, okay, coming off of the bus bars and the smart shunt, we run through this breaker. I think it's a 200 amp breaker. One of the nice things about dealing with Sungold Power, they were really good in helping me with the design of the system, properly sizing my breakers and my wires. And then they go from that breaker into our panel or our box there. This breaker that we see above needs to be mounted still. I learned that it had a special rail called a DIN rail, but I just need to mount that. It's stuck there with double-sided tape for the moment, but this is the breaker that shuts off the panels coming in from the rooftop. All right, what else do we have over here? All right, so our smart shunt here. This is the Orion. This is another Victron product that I added, and what this does is a step-down transformer that steps the voltage down from 24 volts to 12 volts, because we have things in We have systems in here that are 12 volt rather than 24 volt, like our Nomadic fan. This is a 12 volt system. A lot of the refrigerators are 12 volt systems. So we'll have a 12 volt water pump over here under the sink when that gets done. This stove that we installed requires 12 volts for the ignition and whatnot. So that's what that does, steps it down. Now the power goes from our Orion over here to our panel. And on the right side here, we have a 12 volt fuse panel. There are like a dozen spots right there. That's where we run our power to our 12 volt appliances, lights or whatever. Each of those has a fuse. And then on the left side of the panel is our 110 volt breaker system. That comes directly out of the inverter unit here and sends power to our air conditioner, to our outlets and everything like that. So, and if we look at our display there now, we can see that we have power coming in from the panels feeding the inverter. None of that is going to the battery right now as we speak, so we're basically net zero, like I said. So I got room for a bunch of space in here, and if you see these wires here, that's an extra set of wires for a separate mini split system that I put in, because the cab in this truck never had air conditioning. So I have a one of the 12-volt semi-truck type mini splits here if I need to air condition just the cab. It will also be a good backup unit in case my main mini split back there ever stops. So I can't really say enough about the Sungold system. The reasons that we chose that, one was because I've had a little experience with them before. We had a paramotor trailer that had this system in it, and it worked very well. I was familiar with it already. I knew how to program it. It was pretty simple. We had good experience with it. We had no problems with it, so I was comfortable with the product from that point of view. Second was just the simplicity of it. It just makes it really, really easy. You don't have to be a solar genius to install one of these systems. And number three was the support that I get from Sungold Power. They helped a lot in the design process. I bought this as a package. It came with the inverter, the breakers, and two of these 24-volt 100 amp hour batteries. The package that I bought came with 3 solar panels for a total of 600 watts, I think, and I decided to go ahead and add an extra battery and some more panels to the system because I wanted some more capacity. And they were really easy to deal with and work with. They helped me along the way to make sure that I was properly sized. They helped me out with the wire sizing, and Explorers.life YouTube channel, like I said, I fall back on that a lot. They have a lot of information there. And this system is almost complete, but not quite. There are a couple of other things I'm going to add. I want to add a 12-volt DC to DC charger so that I can run a wire from my truck's alternator back to my system here, so that whenever I'm driving, if need be, I can charge my system from the alternator. That means if we're in a time where there's not enough sun, it's cloudy and rainy for a few days maybe, I'll still be able to charge that system. Then of course, also on the outside here, we have added a shore power plug. It's just a 20 amp plug, 110 volt. So if I'm at a campground or somewhere I can plug in if I need to, I can plug in to provide power or to charge my battery bank. So really we have 3 ways of charging this system: solar, alternator, or shore power. So I'm excited to get this thing on the road in the real world and get it out and try it out and see if my battery capacity is going to be enough. Just using it around the house while I've been doing the build, running the air conditioner all day, doesn't seem to be any problem. I picked a very efficient air conditioner. This is a Della 12,000 BTU 23 SEER heat pump. So it's a very, very efficient air conditioning unit. When I put it in eco mode, it pulls about, it's less than 300 watts. I think it was 280 watts in its most efficient mode. So that thing is just purring along. You know, I have 7,500 watt hours of battery capacity. So I love it. The Nomadic Arc fan, I love that. Sweet remote control. Got some LED lights in here, and the project's coming along, guys. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's the Sungold Power Systems all-in-one. Hit them up. I'll put a link down in the description to their website. We'll give you a discount code for them. Guys, hit them up. I'll put a link to their stuff down in the description. They're very, very helpful. Good easy to understand English speaking representatives that are there on the spot to answer all of your questions or anything that you might need as far as design or installation. And yeah, I'm real happy with it. So all right guys, well thanks for coming along, and stay tuned because next we're going to take this thing out stealth camping. I've been out scouting some spots, and I think I know where we're going to go first. So, all right, guys, thanks for coming along. Until next time, Gorilla's out. Peace.